In this video I'm going to cover how to reset your Vizio soundbar. Now this might be needed if there's no sound coming from your soundbar, or if the sound is intermittent, or if it won't connect properly to your TV or to your Wi-Fi, or if you can't get it to turn on properly. So essentially, if you're having problems with your Vizio soundbar, then resetting it is a good first step to try and fix it. You've got two types of reset that you can do. You can do a soft reset or you can do a hard reset. And you can also update the firmware following that. So I'm going to cover how to do each of those three things. So first of all, for a soft reset, all you need to do is unplug the soundbar from the mains, hold down the power button for about 10 seconds, just to try and clear any electricity out of any of the capacitors and the components inside. Then wait for a further 30 seconds or so, and then plug the soundbar back into your mains electricity and switch it on and try it. So that's just a soft reset, which in probably about 20 or 30% of cases just fixes the problem straight away. If you've still got a problem with your Vizio soundbar, then you can hard reset it, which will remove any custom audio settings that you've put on and any connections to devices that all need to be set up again, and it will return it back to an out-of-the-box state. So to hard reset, or factory reset as it's known, the Vizio soundbar, switch it on and then press and hold the Bluetooth and volume down buttons for 5 seconds. The LEDs on the soundbar will flash 3 times or so, and that will let you know that the reset has worked, and you can then remove your fingers from the buttons. So the buttons might be on the top or the sides of the soundbar. If you don't see the LEDs flashing after holding down the Bluetooth and volume down for 5 seconds, then just try some other button combinations such as input and volume down or power and volume up. And you can also try those buttons on the remote. Once your soundbar has been factory reset, then you can try it again and hopefully it will be working normally. If you've still got issues, or if it's still struggling to connect to some devices and it's working fine with some devices and some apps and not with others, then try updating the firmware. So to do this, go to support.vizio.com on a browser on your laptop, and then in the search bar enter your soundbar model name, and then search for firmware updates for that model. You will see the current latest firmware version at the top of this page, and you just need to check first of all what firmware version your soundbar is running on. So switch on your soundbar and then press and hold the volume up and volume down buttons for 5 seconds, and the soundbar should speak the firmware version that you've got. So it will say something like 1.9.8 and so on. If that number is lower than the current firmware version on Vizio's website, so if it says 1.9 and the current firmware version is 2.1 on Vizio's site, then you need to download that firmware version and install it on your soundbar. So to do that, click the link on the Vizio site to download the most current firmware version and then follow the instructions on the page. So you simply have to copy the file onto a USB thumb drive, then unplug your soundbar from your mains electricity, plug that thumb drive into the USB slot on the soundbar, plug the soundbar back into the mains electricity, and the soundbar will update itself over a couple of minutes or so, and then the LEDs will blink to indicate that the update has finished successfully, and you can then remove the thumb drive and use the soundbar as normal, and that should get it working properly.